Let's turn to the deadly mass shooting in Midtown Manhattan that we saw this week, where 4 people, including a police officer, were killed when a gunman stormed into a building. Now, during CNN's coverage of the shooting, CNN anchor Erin Burnett rushes to suggest that the shooter was possibly white.
All right. So, Brian, stay with us. The former deputy director of the FBI, Andy McCabe, is with us as well. And Andy, I just want to ask you, you talk about a 44-story building, as Brian is reporting. And what John Miller just said, there were a few things that really stood out there. Among them that they do know what he looks like. Sunglasses, mustache, male, possibly white.
CJ, what is going on with CNN's coverage?
This is part of the course for them, and it's exactly why, we really probably don't hate the liberal media enough. All these people know how to do is lie and stoke division. Imagine if they had replaced the word white in that sentence with black. They would be off the air tomorrow. The NAACP would release a statement calling for their condemnation. The Biden DOJ probably would have sued them off the air, but yet, because he's a so-called, it could have been possibly white, as we know now that person to be not that at all, they just absolutely skirt accountability. It's disgusting. But again, it goes to show exactly why people just don't trust the media anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Now, as New York City reels from that mass shooting, there's plenty of focus on Democratic mayoral nominee Zohran Mamdani over his recent pledge to eliminate a key police department that handles mass shootings. So just back in December, he pledged on X to disband the New York Police Department Strategic Response Group. This is a group that's responsible for riots, for civil disorder and shootings. He wrote, "As mayor, I will disband the SRG, which has cost taxpayers millions in lawsuit settlements and brutalised countless New Yorkers exercising their First Amendment rights." Now, we know that Zohran Mamdani has previously called to defund the police. He's now back from his wedding in Uganda, and he was asked if he regretted making some of those comments, and he doesn't say no. Take a look.
Do you wish you hadn't said some of those things a few years back?
My statements in 2020 were ones made amidst a frustration that many New Yorkers held at the murder of George Floyd and the inability to deliver on what Eric Adams, of all people, described as the right for all of us to be able to enjoy safety and justice, that we need not choose between the two.
I mean, what does this say about Mamdani? He's entitled to police protection. He says he's grateful for that. But are New Yorkers going to wake up, as to who this man really is?
God willing, they will. But I got to say, these comments aren't only disgusting, but they're disqualifying. And if Zohran Mamdani believes that the police are not capable of doing their job in the city of New York to keep people safe in that community, then I hope that he actually goes and tries to do their job himself. Because I guarantee you, he will never be able to do it. And maybe that will actually lead to some appreciation shown for him towards the men and women who wear the blue, who protect our communities every single day here in the greatest country in the world, and what used to be the greatest city in the world, but runs the risk of no longer being if he becomes mayor.
I want to ask you about Chuck Schumer. New York Senator and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says that Republicans don't believe in democracy. And well, we've all heard that before. But according to him, poor people or people of colour wouldn't be able to vote in America if there was voter ID.
Shows why we need legislation. Because these guys are undoing everything in every way they can. They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do.
I thought the argument for voter ID is to make sure American citizens are the only ones voting in American elections. Am I missing something?
That's pretty damn racist. I actually thought I was watching a live stream of KKK rally when you played that back. Here's the deal. The idea or the notion that black people are somehow too dumb, too stupid to figure out how to get a photo ID to vote, which is one of the most sacred responsibilities we have as American citizens in this country, is not only preposterous, but it's downright offensive. And Chuck Schumer should be ashamed, but also, too, let this be insightful into the way in which the Democrat Party views the black community in this country. And black folks need to wake up in this country and realize this is how these people see us, and that's exactly why we should reject them.
I want to talk to you about South Park. Cartman is going to be playing Charlie Kirk in the next episode. We know that the latest season has launched. It's already slammed their streaming home Paramount Plus and the President Donald Trump. But in its latest episode, it appears to take aim at co-founder of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk. Let's take a look.
Wednesday, August 6th.
You can just shut up, baby, because you hate America and you love abortion.
On an all-new South Park. Okay. The epic season continues.
Look, I love Charlie Kirk, and I think South Park always seems to nail it. Charlie Kirk says that he's looking at this as a badge of honour. What do you make of it?
Charlie's, a great friend of mine. And I got to tell you, this is the difference between the left and the right. We can roll with the punches. We can take a good joke. And I look forward to seeing Cartman, a.k.a. Charlie Kirk, on the libs, as he often does all across the country every single day.
Okay, and finally on Donald Trump, he opened his new Scottish golf course. Let's just take a look at him teeing off.
Please welcome onto the tee the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Well done, Mr. President.
Then, in true Donald Trump style, he bragged about it. Let's take a look.
Did you get to see my drive in the first hole?
You hit it straight pretty hard.
I did. Pretty long. Pretty long. That's no Joe Biden, let me tell you. That's not Biden, right? That was a good drive.
He's right about that. No Joe Biden.
No, I think he made an incredible point. We're from a president who couldn't even walk upstairs of Air Force One to a president who can do that. Gabriella, I am 22 years old. I can't do that. So I'm a little bit embarrassed watching that. But, this is, of course, goes to show that we have a president who is at the top of his game, high energy, and every single day delivering for the American people and doing all that he can, not only to save our great country, but to save the West altogether.
RNC Youth Advisory Council Co-Chair, CJ Pearson, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.